journal, you reflect, you read all of the self-help books, you listen to the podcast, and yet you still feel stuck. Why? Because your subconscious is silently blocking you and you don't even realize it. In this video, I'm breaking down why you still feel stuck after doing all of the self-work and what subconscious blocks actually are. We'll talk about why they quietly shape your choices, drain your energy, and keep you repeating patterns that you desperately want to grow out of, and how to start recognizing them within your own life. So when I work with clients who have done all of the things, they've done all of the work, they've been in therapy, they've listened to the podcast, they know their inner landscape, but still feel like something invisible is holding them back, it's almost always tied to some sort of subconscious blocks. And it's confusing because you're putting in the effort, you're doing the things, you are building an awareness and you're talking it through and you're reflecting and you're processing and you're being in touch with yourself, and it feels like you're doing all of the things, but it's not actually contributing to any changes. Like, no behavior is actually resulting in it. And it's confusing because it feels like you're putting in all of the work, but then nothing is changing. So it's almost like, what is the point of doing all of the work if my behavior isn't going to change? And the reason that this happens is because of our subconscious blocks. Most of the times when you are doing the awareness work, when you are reflecting, when you are journaling, when you are changing your thoughts in the moment, when you are deciding and being intentional with new actions, those things are all conscious level changes. You are using your conscious mind to make those changes. Our conscious mind is in charge of our logic, our reasoning, our decision making, our willpower, and our ability to analyze. So when you're saying, this isn't working, I want to be doing this instead, those are conscious level decisions that you're making. The problem is, what's actually happening are subconscious blocks, subconscious programming that is standing in the way of you actually making the conscious level changes that you want. So you're trying to fix a subconscious change with conscious level thinking. They don't communicate the same. They don't speak the same language. You can't change a subconscious problem with a conscious modality. You're just not using the right tools to access the part of your mind where the changes that you actually want to happen are happening. And without that awareness, you will continue to blame yourself. You will continue to think that you're the problem, that you're not capable, that you're not worthy of having the life that you want and the changes that you want and all of the things, when it's simply not true. So let's get into what exactly subconscious blocks are. Subconscious blocks are protective patterns that your mind created way back in childhood to help you avoid things like shame, rejection, failure, or emotional pain. These blocks aren't bad and they're not flaws. They're just outdated strategies that your mind still thinks that it needs. When you go to make changes in your life, the 88% and the 12% are in complete competition with each other. Why can't I just do it? I know that I should, but I can't get myself to do it. That is how you are experiencing it. But what the subconscious blocks are actually is a disconnect between your conscious desires and your subconscious programming. It is the discrepancy between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. And so with my work with my clients, I've actually been able to categorize the types of subconscious blocks that we have into 3 different subconscious blocks: the safety loop, the protector conflict, and the self-worth gap. So all of us experience different levels of stuck moments in our day-to-day, but they all can be categorized within these 3 different types of subconscious blocks. And I'm not going to go into the ins and outs of what each block is. I actually have a separate online course for that, which I'll link here if you're desiring going deeper around that. But for today, let's stick to how these blocks show up in our day-to-day. Because my purpose here is, when you can decide that what you're going through is actually not a you problem and can be tied back to your subconscious programming, then you'll realize it's less about needing healing and more about getting clarity about what is happening in the subconscious, and that will guide you. So that is the purpose. My purpose is to give you the clarity and remove the shame. Because I find that a lot with my clients, that they've been trying all of the things and it's whittled away their self-worth. And they think that because they keep trying harder and it's not actually changing the behavior, that there must be something inherently wrong with them. And when you can learn about the subconscious mind, you realize that that is not truth. That it all just comes down to your learned experiences and your learned behaviors. So some of the common ways that I see subconscious blocks showing up in people's lives are when you say that you want something, but yet you don't take any of the actions to actually implement it or work towards it in your life. So a huge example is exercise. You say you want to lose weight. You say you want the fit body, to be a runner, to go to the gym, but yet you don't do it. It just falls flat as a desire. Maybe you feel a little motivated for a week or two, but then after that, nothing. Another example of this is wanting to start a business. I see this all of the time. People wanting to start businesses, but then not actually taking the steps that they need to in order to make the business a success, or even a startup off the ground, whatever it is. There's a misalignment between their conscious desires and what they believe is possible for them in their subconscious mind. So saying that you want something but then procrastinating it or never taking the actions, that is a very common way that subconscious blocks show up in real life. So I'll give you another example, and I want to be clear that there are hundreds and thousands of different examples, and I can't cover them all, but I'm giving you a few that I see that are really common, so that way you can start getting the wheels turning and you can start to understand maybe your patterns a little bit better. Maybe you can start connecting certain dots along the way, or feel like you have a little bit more clarity, or at least a curiosity to open up and wonder if what you're experiencing, if your stuck moments are tied to the subconscious mind. So with that, another example is saying that you want a certain type of relationship, but then attracting a different kind. I see this all of the time where people want to attract emotionally available partners, but they don't have the programming in place to actually welcome those partners into their life. And a lot of times this happens when there were relationship dynamics growing up that weren't helpful, maybe weren't healthy, maybe were toxic, but don't have to be toxic, that just weren't exactly what you were wanting. And so you find yourself as an adult repeating the same things that you saw either your mom or your dad, that are actually mirroring the relationship that your parents had when you were younger. And this happens because, again, that type of relationship dynamic is familiar to your subconscious mind. So you are acting on autopilot in ways that are actually attracting that same relationship. So all in all, it really shows up in your life by, I say that I want one thing, but I can't get it. I don't do it. I procrastinate. I self-sabotage. No matter how much I want it, for some reason, there is an invisible barrier, something under the surface that is stopping me from attracting it, from taking action, from feeling like it's possible. That disconnect is your red flag, is your signal, the thing you need to pay attention to, so you can pinpoint, I wonder what's going on in my subconscious mind that is making me repeat these patterns and keep my conscious desires at arm's length, never allowing myself to really fulfill my desires, my dreams, and what I want for myself. So I know with learning this that there is a tendency to see the subconscious as the enemy, but that's actually the opposite. Their subconscious is just trying to protect us. It's trying to keep us in old ways so that way we can remain predictable. So you have to understand that your mind wants to keep you in predictable situations, because if it can predict, then it can keep you safe. It knows how to react. It knows what to do. So your mind doesn't want out here to look different than what it knows, because then it can't keep you safe. It can't know what to do, how to act in certain situations. It feels like a threat. Even though your mature mind is like, this isn't a threat. This is actually something that's good for me. But that's just not how your subconscious operates. So it's not about seeing the subconscious as the enemy. It's understanding that it's just doing its job. So we don't look at our subconscious programming as bad things. We don't criticize it. We don't put blame on any person or any situation. We just use it as information. And we build an awareness around the information. We build an awareness around what certain situations, what circumstances could have happened that have shaped the way that we think, act, and behave. And that awareness is a foundational, fundamental piece if you want to use your subconscious and heal it and allow it to work for you instead of against you. Because once you name the block, then it's no longer unconscious. It's no longer on autopilot. You now have a conscious awareness of it. So it's no longer just running in the background. And this awareness is a gift because it gives you the gift of choice. It allows you to pause in the moment and decide something new. So you are no longer a victim to your subconscious programming that is running on autopilot. This is how we quiet the autopilot. We bring the unconscious to the conscious, and then we have conscious choice for what actions we want to take that actually align with the desires and the things that we want in our life. So to wrap this up, subconscious blocks are just invisible rules written in your past that were meant to protect you that are quietly running in the background until you notice them. So the biggest takeaway, and I haven't said this yet, but the biggest takeaway is that they're not permanent. That you can identify what they are, use it as information to inform how they are shaping your life, but then get to choose differently. I hope this empowers you to start looking at all of your stuck moments, your resistance moments that happen on the day-to-day through the subconscious lens, because it will give you good information, and at the very least, it will help you stop blaming yourself for the things that you keep trying to do, but resistance hits in instead. So if you are wondering, am I blocked? Do I have subconscious blocks? I'm not sure. I actually have a free quiz for you, so I will link that here. Take the free quiz. It's a fun little quiz like used to be on the J14 magazines. Take it, have fun with it, answer it honestly, and then the results will tell you if you are subconsciously blocked or if you're living authentically. So go ahead, take that, and let me know in the comments what your biggest takeaway was, and I'll see you in the next video.